All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and my name still remains Bamsi Forex. And today's video, I'll be breaking down break and retest strategy, how this strategy can also maximize your profit as a beginner, and things you need to do to get it right using just break and retest. And I can tell you for sure, if only you understand how to trade break and retest, that can also be a good way for you, a good start for you, a good beginning point for you as a trader or as a beginner as well. All right, and I'll be showing you my screen as well, what I'm expecting in the market, especially on XAUSD, and also as well I might also analyze other assets. But before then, I will just explain what I have on XAUSD and my expectation on that asset. All right, and today is Saturday, the market has closed. All right, so I just want to use that to explain a break and retest strategy, and this can also work perfectly well on other assets. It can also work perfectly well on other assets, just for you to understand how break and retest strategy works. All right, so let me move straight to my screen and explain what we have on XAUUSD. All right, so on my screen right here, you can see I already have an analysis I've already done on XAUSD. I've already analyzed my asset, expecting a buy move on XAUSD, and I also go to break down the reason why I'm expecting a buy move on XAUSD. What are the confluences why I'm expecting this buy on XAUSD, and what is the reason behind the confirmation? All right, so I know you guys know how we do it. I'm going to break it down perfectly well for every one of you to understand break and retest strategy. All right, so on XAUSD, before I start, let me just move straight to what daily time frame. All right, and the reason why I use daily time frame is because I just want to see the bigger picture of what we have on XAUSD. All right, I want to see what the market is doing and the bigger picture of it. Now you can see right there, the whole scenario on XAUSD right now is telling me that the market is still on a good bullish momentum, regardless of the drawdown of this particular movement here. This drawdown here, this was a crazy draw on XAUSD. All right, so but regardless, I'm still looking out for a buy on this asset, and I have to move to 4 hours time frame. Let me see what I have on 4 hour time frame. All right, as you can see, I already marked out my support and resistance already. These are my support and resistance, and I will explain that on our videos, how to trade support and resistance perfectly well. But for now, I'm only explaining a break and retest strategy. All right, a break and retest strategy. Now on 4 hours, let me see what we have on 4 hours here. Okay, looking perfectly well. All right, so on 4 hours, we have a break from this zone. All right, we have a break from this zone. We have a break from this zone, which is here. The market pull up and gave us a drop, and there was a break on 1 hour time frame. Once I moved to 1 hour time frame, and price keep dropping down to the downside, and price get to a particular spot where I'm expecting to see a buy momentum, which is my support levels. Price get to that point, and there was a reaction around that areas. There was a breakout, a fake out, and price correct itself and start giving me a structure that tells me the market is about to continue the previous movement, which is the bullish movement. All right, and that's what I found out on 4 hour time frame. And let me move to 1 hour time frame so you can get it clear and simple. All right, so on 1 hour time frame, I won't explain much here because I already marked out my levels. Now you can see last week, earlier this week, that should be on Wednesday or on Tuesday, we got about 1,000 pips on XAUSD. Yes, I can remember we got a 1,000 pips on XAUSD just trading a break and retest, and this was what happened. Let me explain to you guys. Now you see this particular level, when price breaks above it, all right, price breaks and correct its pattern, came back for a retest on our support level, and we expected a push to the upside. Actually, I was expecting the market to give us a push to the upside, and pull back again for a retest around this zone, then maybe continue the buy. All right, but regardless, the market dropped down back again to our support level after giving us a series of a higher highs and higher lows. Price keep making this crazy move to the upside, higher highs and higher lows. And all this while, I could not find my setup because I was back testing on only break and retest. So I want to see how this can work perfectly well. So all this pullback and retracements, I did not make any attempt on it. But when I found out that price dropped down again to this particular level and push up again and retest on the what there 1, 2, and this is the third time price have been in that level. All right, so that is why that places my what areas of resistance, minor resistance for that matter. All right, so price touched the resistance level and gave us a what a drop down, and this was where I got in on that trade. All right, this was where I called in for the trade for the buy, and that was a huge lot of movement to the upside. Now let me show you on 15 minutes what happened there before I explain what I have here. Okay, so on 15 minutes, this was what happened. Here was the areas I was expecting the market to drop. Yeah, that was it. So I was expecting the market to break above it, then come back for a retest around this point, But what market happened? The market breaks below and push up. So that's why I did not do anything about it because I didn't see any conferences to trade. But when I saw this happen, if there will be any currency confirmations to enter the trade, then I will move on with it. All right. And since I missed the first one in on the trade on this pullback here, that was when I got my confirmation on the pullback, and I set a pending order, of which I will show you guys later. There was a pending order here. Then my target was these particular areas, of which the market played out perfectly well. All right, that was my target. I think yes, I was risking 200 pips. All right, then that was my target, and that's how the market played out very well. The market breaks and retests and continue the market direction, and that was a good win for us. That was about 1,358 pips, clear movement. That was crazy, right? It was a crazy movement, and that was a good one for us, right? We actually made it that huge. All right, and let me show you the before. I think I have the before here, so you understand what I'm trying to say. I have the before analysis here and what the market actually. Okay, yeah, I think I have it. So let me show you guys. All right, so let me show you guys what I have there, and this was the before analysis for the break and retest, and this was what I was expecting. All right, I was expecting this particular move on Xauusd, of which the market played out very well. The market played out very well, and there was the after result where market was pushing up to the upside. As you can see, very clear, smooth move, and this was when market hit our full take profit. All right, everything happened so smooth, just using break and retest strategy. All right, this is just what happened last week, and now let me explain what I'm expecting this week. All right, now this week, what I'm expecting this week, you can see the market closed, and this was my expectation on Xauusd. What I was expecting the market to drop down to this particular support level and push. Why? Because there was a level around this point, the market breaks above it, and I was expecting a pullback for a retest and push to the upside to this particular resistance level when I was expecting the market. All right, and that was what I was expecting. There was a drop down to this particular levels again, back my support, breaks above it, came back for a retest, make it a valid support zone, and the market went up. I missed that trade because I was watching out for Bitcoin then. So I missed this confirmation. I missed the trade, and when I came back, I noticed that the price already moved to the upside. So what I needed was just a retracement back to this particular levels where I'm expecting price to just drop again to the neckline, which is what my retest zone, and what gave me a previous resistance. And that can only be confirmed when I see some certain reactions on that zone and a candlestick confirmation as well to tell me that that is a valid area to catch the buy. And that is why I set a pending order, expecting the market to react on it earlier on before pushing up to the upside. But unfortunately, price did not tap me in. Price did not get a little bit close to it, and maybe next week, which is on Monday, we'll see the price reactions. We'll see what the market have to do concerning that. And there's one thing I want to explain, which is very, very vital. One thing I want to explain, which is important. All right. Now, break and retest. Sometimes many of you mark the wrong zone as your what, your retest areas, and that's why most times the price will stop you out before moving to your actual directions. Now, there's this diagram up there. This thing I've noticed several times. So let me use this diagram to explain. Now, if price was on your support level and there's a push to the upside, maybe a crazy buy to the upside, drop again and start moving and drop back again to your previous support and push to the upside. All right, push to the upside. Now price get to a certain level, which is your resistance level, or wherever place you're expecting to see some pullback. All right, and now this is where most people get it wrong on break and retest. All right, sometimes price might respect the first zone, but me, I always choose the second one because I believe that second one is the strongest, is where the price will respect the most. Don't get me twisted. All right, sometimes price might get to your first resistance, your first support, and what retest there and move. But me, most of the times I wait for price to drop down to the second one before I can do anything about it. All right, which is most people will mark up for this first one, expecting the price to drop down to the first one, then before they can get the entry point, which is drop down to the first one and what, to push to the upside. Yeah, it's cool, but for me, I believe if there's two highs like this, then to me the second one should be the valid one for me. All right, second one should be the valid one, because I noticed that sometimes price will drop down, take out orders from that particular zone before moving to the actual direction. I've noticed that several times once it comes to break and retest. I've noticed that. All right, and if you as well are also victim of that, then take your notes from here, because sometimes this happens a lot on the market, whereby when there's a two highs close to where the retest zone, so this thing happens a lot. It might actually pick from the first one and what, go to your direction, but I prefer the second touch of it, which is the second neckline. That's what I'm expecting to see the market to move crazy. All right, and but in a case whereby you do not see stuff like that, then I believe you should just go with the first one. All right, let me just do another diagram here. Maybe in a case whereby price move to the upside, giving us a higher high, a higher low, and price breaks the previous high and what, get to a level and what, keep dropping that, then maybe this should be a perfect one for you to push to the upside. This should be a perfect zone for you, which is the first one. Then you can make your decision from there. All right, you can make a decision from there. Now this is the first diagram, and the second diagram where I say that I'm expecting the second neckline touch before I can conclude for a buy is when price give us a high and price drop, give us a what, a lower high and to a support, but still on the buy direction, and shift the game back to the upside. Now this level is where I'm expecting. All right, whenever I see something like this, a diagram like this or a structure like this, I always expect this one, not the first one. All right, I always expect this one to hold the market, not the first one. Because why? The first one can be tested out, take out orders, stop losses, and before moving to the upside. All right, because I found myself in these kind of situations, and I'm going to tell you the fact that it is a whole lot of experience. All right, so that's why I prefer this second one as my entry zone than what, to buy the market. I expect this second one to be my next entry zone to buy the market. All right, so that is it for XAUSD. Now on the whole thing I'm trying to say is that XAUSD, I'm still expecting a push to the upside. I'm still expecting the market to keep buying to the upside on XAUSD. All right, I'm expecting the market to still buy to the upside on XAUSD, and this is just my confirmation. This is what I'm just expecting. It does a drop down to the neckline, which is this one, and I can see this was the first one, right? This was the first one. Price tested on it and gave us a chart confirmation pattern, which is a double bottom, and what, there was a push to the upside. Regardless, price might open from here and start going up regardless, so then this my setup is what, invalid. All right, then I'll look for the next opportunities, the next setups. But regardless, anything can happen. The market can actually open on Monday and give us this backdrop again to this area, then push again to continue the buy direction. All right, so that's my bias on XAUSD. But regardless, please, Despite that the market is moving to the up to the buy direction, all right, trade what you see, not what you expect. All right, this can also be an invalid setup. All right, at the moment it can also be an invalid setup, but for now this is just my expectation on XAUS. All right, so before I close for today, let me just check other assets. Let me see what we have there on other asset. Most of the times I love to check silver, but silver is very volatile and is crazy as well. It's crazy. Let us check USD card. Oh, sorry, GPUSD. Let's see what we have there on GPUSD. All right, so GPUSD, GBPUSD. Let's see what we have. All right, for those trading currency pairs. All right, so 4 hour time frames. Let's see what we have. Man, the market has been crazy. All right, the market has been crazy. Now you can see the whole direction on this market is a bearish. Let me just confirm what I'm saying. All right, good. All right, the whole directional move has been what, a bearish trend, a bearish structure. So what you'll be looking at for GPUSD is more of sell opportunity. Why? Because there's a level of price I've not gotten yet, of which we're expecting price to reach before we can see a price correction pattern. All right, which is where this particular level here, this is my support, and there's still a lot of pips for price to get to the support level before moving back towards the buy direction, if that should be the next direction I should be looking out for. But for now, the current trend is what, a bearish structure. So you don't have to look out for bearish movement. All right, keep looking out for bearish movement, bearish structure, and that's it. So on 4 hours time frames, I'm seeing price reacting on this particular zone. Okay, let me move to 1 hour time frame so I can get it clear. All right, price is still reacting on this zone on a 4 hour time frame. 4 hours support, price is reacting on this 4 hours support. So all right, price is still reacting on this 4 hours support. So regardless, we still have a lot of pips to get towards a daily time frame support, but on the current one, yeah, it's the 4 hour support. We just need price, we just need to see what will happen if there will be a breakout from this 4 hours support and a retest to continue towards the bearish directional move, or this place will also serve as a support to push the market upside. All right, that should also serve as a support to push the market upside. And once that happens, then this should be our next areas of interest, which is this level should be our next areas of interest to catch the buy move here. All right, that should be our next areas of interest, which is our next retest level where we need to catch the buy move to the upside if this 4 hour support hold that particular level. But regardless, the structure is bearish, and we need to see what will happen. At this point, we just have two directional move, either the bearish movement continue or market breaks above this neckline, pull back for a retracement, and that is it for GPUSD. We go in for a buy. And if that does not happen, then know that we need to wait for a retest on this 4 hour support to make it a resistance, then drop back again to the daily time frame support. And I believe this should hold this buy. All right, that should hold the buy. So that is it for GPUSD. Nothing much analysis because the structure is not set, it's not well arranged, so nothing much to explain there. It's not set, it's not arranged. All right, so nothing much to explain there on GPUSD. So that is what I'm having here on gold. That's what I'm having. That's my expression on gold. All right, just as simple as that. Break and retest, and that is it. You can trade this particular kind of setups if you're a beginner, or you are also if you're a beginner, or you're an advanced traders, or whatever trader you are. This can also be a good one for you as well. This can also be a good one for you to trade. Break and retest, you can go with that. All right, because I've done my own back testing on that, and I can tell for sure that break and retest works perfectly well only if you know what you're doing in the market. All right, just understand the structures, understand support and resistance levels, where price will react on, where price will show some reactions. That's a valid place for you to pay attention to. Then once that is done, you also pay attention to what candlestick confirmations. Then before you can pick out your entering around that region. All right. So that's what I'm basically expecting on XAUSD, which is gold right here. And this is my 15-minute analysis for gold. All right. So if this find helpful to you, then you can go with that. All right, you can study this and master it. All right, you can study this and master it. Like I said before, this is weekend, the market close, so I'm only sharing with you what I'm expecting on XAUSD on Monday. All right, and that is it for today. All right, that is it. Very clean analysis, and that is it. All right, so and and if you haven't subscribed yet to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to support the channel, like the video, share it to your friends and loved ones, whoever that's interested to learn forex for free using my free channel. Share it to them so they can also be part of it, and also turn on your notification button so you can receive notifications whenever I drop any videos on YouTube or on this space like this, so you can also learn as well, grow with me, and also document your trading journey with me as well. All right, so thank you all for listening, and thank you all for paying attention, all right, to my strategy. And this is finding helpful to you, then comment and tell me what next you want me to do, what else you want me to analyze, and what else do you want me to do for you guys. All right, see you on the next one. Bye for now.